Bill O'Reilly, the author of the new New York Times best-selling book, Killing England, which is on sale right now, joins us. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the program.
Beck, you sound fired up today.
I am fired up. There's a lot to be fired up. A lot to be fired up on. Let me go through some of the. Let me go through some of the things that are that have been happening this week. Let's start with North Korea and the president in front of the United Nations. Let's start just with North Korea and what has happened with the sanctions first. Bill.
I thought it was a pretty good speech, and I was not offended by the Rocket Man reference, and that helped Elton John, my pal, so my records. I love the outrage, and I wrote a column for The Hill. I'm very highbrow these days, Beck. You know that.
I do know that. I do. You're very
I'm writing
highbrow.
for publications that reach Congress directly, The Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and my column was basically saying the outrage from people like Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, Barack Obama about Trump, demeaning Kim Jong-un and telling North Korea we're going to blast them out of existence if they attack anybody. But these people are outraged. For 8 years, Beck, they did absolutely nothing on North Korea. The most vicious thing the United States did under the Obama administration was send Dennis Rodman over to visit there. That's the most vicious thing. All right? Now, when you have a total failure in life, in any regard, a total failure, is it wise to criticize anyone who may have a different point of view on how to solve a problem? The answer is no, it isn't. But these people, they have hubris. Word of the day, Beck. Hubris. HB.
I got it. So Bill, look, I've been talking about this for as long as you have been talking about it. I've been talking about this since the 1990s and Bill Clinton. It's been a failure of every Congress and every president to take these things seriously. The one on the horizon that's going to end up exactly the same is Iran. We'll get to that here in a second. But we are now in a situation to where we have nuclear weapons. The time to be really, really tough and to talk about military strikes, etc., was when he didn't have ICBMs tipped with, now he says, a hydrogen bomb. So now he is a nuclear power, whether we like it or not, and he is a crazy man. But for the president to go in front of the United Nations and to belittle, I think, himself by calling Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, to belittle the situation. No, come on, Bill. Don't. Let's not make everything into a show. We're sitting in front of the United Nations, and we're talking about something that could kill millions of people. Let's not, and it's not worth even discussing because it's so stupid and so inconsequential. But please,
you understand that he wanted to get attention to the problem, that many people aren't paying attention to it all over the world, and immediate way to do it. So, all right.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do it in front of the United Nations. Anyway, but the point is that now Kim Jong-un has said, because of these sanctions, which I think are right, I think we have to do that. But we are now, we're entering, a few days in October. We're entering something that could very well be the Cuban Missile Crisis of this generation. And it may not end the same as the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, look, the world is a dangerous place, but I think you have to throw down markers. Now, I don't believe that Trump and the United States would do any unilateral military action against North Korea on a major scale. They might do what they did in Syria, take out a couple of installations or something like that, but there's not going to be any mass attack unless this nut in North Korea fires one of his missiles at either our territory or our allies. Now, if the man does that, then Trump has been very clear in saying, well, I'm going to destroy your whole country. That's what's going to happen. So don't do it. Is there anything wrong with that marker? Beck, are you there?
No, I'm letting the audience. I thought that was a rhetorical question. I'm letting the audience decide.
I'm asking you. The marker is now down. Obama never threw a marker down. He did it one time in Syria, and then he backed down.
Yeah, I don't think it. Look, here's the thing, Bill. I don't think the United States has any choice than to respond if someone launches a nuclear weapon. And
even a conventional ICBM.
No. You're right. No.
Throw them out.
You're right. If he is launching anything that could be a nuclear weapon, but if he is launching missiles and they hit Guam, they hit Japan, they hit Tokyo, they hit any place. If he is launching missiles, the world must respond to him. However, the idea,
that's what Trump said.
Right, the idea that we are going to have a first strike is the act of the insane, and I'm hoping that nobody is pulling for a first strike.
Not going to happen. And this is the hysteria that's whipped up by the people who have no solutions to anything. But I want the world to know the United States is not going to sit around and allow guys like Kim Jong-un and the mullahs to attack with high-tech weaponry and kill innocent people. I mean, I want the world to know that.
All right, let's change the subject with Bill O'Reilly. Let's go to Donald Trump and wiretapping. This is an amazing story because I think both sides won and both sides are losing because they're making it about something very, very small. Donald Trump says, see, I've been vindicated. They were wiretapping Trump Tower and they were listening, and they were. So he was right on that. However,
it's unbelievable.
However, the CNN is now able to say, yeah, because Paul Manafort looks like he was doing something really bad with Russia. So they were both right in their own way. The bigger story here, the point of this is to say, is there something bad that Paul Manafort was doing, and did the president know, or should he have known?
First of all, Beck, do you have a band there in the studio?
I do. I have a little band.
Calypso thing?
I do. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay. Number one, this revelation that Paul Manafort was wired up and they were tapping whatever he had is to me almost amazing. Because the Obama administration has been accused, and I had Cheryl Atkinson on BillO'Reilly.com yesterday with the podcast. She's suing the federal government because they tapped into her computer while she was working at CBS News.
Yes.
She's suing them.
Yes.
Today, there's actually a hearing. So the Obama administration has been accused, all right, of surveillance, illegal surveillance across the board, and now at this high level. Okay, that's number one. So Trump catches an enormous break that this is now public knowledge that he wasn't a kook when he said that, he was tapping me in the Trump Tower because where did Manafort live, Trump? Beck?
In the Trump Tower. Right.
Yeah.
However, let's make sure we're accurate on our words here. They weren't tapping him. They were tapping Paul Manafort, and they had a reason to
overheard. Right.
Yeah.
You remember how what a big shot Manafort was in that campaign. So anyway, I don't want to split, but what the big story to me, there's two big stories here. And I think Paul Manafort might be indicted. I do. Okay? So whatever he did or did not do, that'll probably come out. But the other big story is if James Clapper, the head of Obama's national security apparatus, says publicly, I didn't know that Manafort was being surveilled. I didn't know. I'm the highest ranking Obama official. I didn't know. That's huge. That is huge.
Why?
Well,
Why?
because if it had gone through FISA circles, back legal circles, Clapper would have known. So therefore, this whole thing may have been illegal. And if it's illegal, who's there in there? That's Comey. That's Comey. Okay? So this is a huge developing story. Now, we don't know. We can't speculate. I'm not like MSNBC where I'm going to come out and convict everybody. I'm not going to do that. I'm just trying to guide the folks into what a big story is on the horizon here. If Clapper is telling the truth, he did not know about the surveillance on Manafort, that means it was not done legally. And if it wasn't done legally, then who's generating that in the Obama administration?
It is the story that will either make or break this administration, make or break the former administration, make or break our internal security apparatus, should we choose to care. More with Bill O'Reilly in just a second. Bill O'Reilly is the author of the new book, Killing England, that is on sale now, and you can hear Bill O'Reilly and his opinions at BillO'Reilly.com every single day. We have a lot more to cover, and Sharyl Attkisson, he just referenced Sharyl Attkisson. We had about an hour-long interview with her, and we've edited it down to about, I think, 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll get to that at the end of the hour after Bill scoots on out of here. So make sure you hang on for that.
Glenn Beck.
On with Bill O'Reilly from BillO'Reilly.com, and he's the author of the new book. Came out this weekend. It's called Killing England. It is the story of the American patriots and the American Revolution that you, your children, and your grandchildren must read. It's available at bookstores or online. I recommend you get a hard copy, and I believe in getting hard copies of books that should be in your family for this generation and the next, and this is one of those. BillO'Reilly.com. You can find more information there or just get it at Amazon. Bill, welcome back to the program. Can you help me understand? Former UN Ambassador Samantha Power submitted hundreds of unmasking requests in 2016. Are you following this story?
Yes, I am.
What is this story about?
Well, this ties directly into what we were just talking about with the surveillance. This is the same soup can, all right? So you've got and then let's just walk through it real quick because I know we don't have a lot of time in this segment. But you've got the Obama administration surveilling the head of the Trump campaign, okay, Manafort. All right. Then you've got the national security chief, Clapper, saying, I didn't know about it. Then you've got the UN ambassador, also a member of Clapper's team, Samantha Powers, going in and asking 260 times for information about FISA wiretaps on foreign people and who the foreign people were talking to.
So when
260 times.
When you're talking about unmasking, what this means, so the average person understands, is there's a FISA warrant that is supposed to be kept just at the highest level of who the foreign people are, who they're talking to here in the United States. So names are never, leaked out, and, that just because you happen to be talking to somebody who is under investigation doesn't make you a criminal. She went in and asked 60 times.
60 times.
To unmask that name. So in other words, go in and ask for, with her security clearance, to take the masking off of that name so she knew who those Americans were. That's extraordinarily dangerous.
Well, but it's even worse than that, because it looks like there is a pattern of behavior. See, I'm big on that. I'm big on the pattern of behavior business, that there was something going on in the last year of the Obama administration when Trump was running against Hillary Clinton. There was something going on, Beck, that was being directed toward the Trump campaign. All of this, I will submit to you when we find out, will be directed toward the Trump campaign. All of it. And Russia will be involved, yes, all right, because that plays into the Trump campaign to some extent. There were Russians trying to intrude. We know that.
I would bet you that Manafort either goes to jail or I mean
I'm not going.
And I will tell you I'm not.
What about Barack Obama?
I here's what I want to do, Bill. I think it is only right and fair to treat these two things as separate issues. They are connected, but the Russia thing needs to be dealt with by itself in its own vacuum, and then the Barack Obama stuff and all this with Samantha Power, that needs to be dealt with as well. They both need to be dealt with separately and equally, and personally, I think a lot of people on both sides are going to go to jail, or should.
Glenn Beck. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
So every day at glennbeck.com, we give you, 5, 10 stories, and we say, rank them. What are the ones that you really want to know about? And number one today is UN sanctions on North Korea. They aren't working. Will these new sanctions work? Bill O'Reilly is here. I know we've already touched on North Korea, but let's talk about the new sanctions a bit. And do they actually work?
Well, first I have to say that I'm a little bit prejudiced against North Korea, Beck, because they will not stock Killing England. They will not put it in the bookstore.
Shut up. They have stores. They don't have stores?
Yeah, they don't have bookstores.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So.
And if Amazon ships there to North Korea, then President Trump's new executive order would punish Amazon. How about that for a segue, Beck?
Could we get it to punish you?
You play that back for your audience later on. That is one of the most brilliant segues in the world.
Yeah, right. It was a shameless plug, and everybody saw right through it. Yes, you did. But you did.
Right off the top of my head.
You did. It was 50 years of being a sham artist that is coming up and tying in anything.
Guys in the Calypso band applauded me for that segue.
All right, go ahead.
All right,
tell me about North Korea, the sanctions.
All right, so now President Trump this week signs an executive order, okay? And it says that if you do business with North Korea, anybody, you can't do business with the USA. So that's pretty tough. That takes China out of it. It takes Russia out of it. It takes all, and it takes into it gets into the individual companies. So say the Bank of Canton starts to lend money to Kim Jong-un, all right, so he can continue to eat Domino's pizza at a record rate. Then the Bank of Canton can't do business with anyone associated with the United States. So I thought that was a pretty sophisticated way to tell the world we're not playing games here. We find out you're interacting with Kim, you're not going to interact with us, period.
Let me ask you this, Bill, and I've just written down my answer on what I believe Bill O'Reilly is going to say when asked this question. And if you,
this is like Jeopardy.
It is. And if you happen to be watching, you can see what I believe how he's going to answer this question, which may have already tainted this, so it may not be a valid study here. But tell me about what you think about this September 23rd thing that happens tomorrow with the stars lining up and people saying that this is part of the Book of Revelation prophecy.
You see, I don't really follow this kind of stuff. I know today is the first day of autumn. And I like autumn, so I'm happy. So is the world going to end tomorrow, or do I just have one day of autumn this year?
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
That is unfair.
I don't know, Marissa, do I get a point on this? Because I don't think I expected your typical, I don't deal with the future. I don't deal with the blah, blah, blah. I deal in the news or facts. But go ahead.
what I wanted to say, and you inhibited me from saying it, was,
right.
well, if that's true, you only have one day to buy Killing England. You better get it.
Shameful. Just shameful. Really is.
Another great segue.
All right, let's talk about the border wall. Donald Trump.
Yes.
Being sued by California.
No. Xavier Becerra, Governor Jerry Brown's right-hand man, the Attorney General of California, now says he's going to sue the federal government because they're violating environmental regulations by putting a wall up in San Diego County. There's already a wall there. You know that, right? And the wall has worked brilliantly.
It's very effective.
Right. Now, in Imperial County, which is east of San Diego, there's no wall. And that's where everybody's running across now. So that's why they want a wall there. But Xavier's, oh, no, you're going to disturb the environment in Imperial County, where the average temperature is 135 degrees and no one lives. Okay? So, but we don't want to disturb the cactus or the rocks or anything else in Imperial Counties we're suing. All right, so we all know this is a ruse. Everybody knows it's a ruse. And the state of California has basically set itself up as a opponent to the United States federal government.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like a civil war.
They're saying
California versus the feds.
It is. It is. California wants to be a sanctuary state.
They want to be a separate country.
Yes. I'm willing to let them go. I really am. I'm willing to, have to have a passport to go into California. I'm willing to. I don't want any of your problems in California. I don't want to have to pay for your stupid, crazy schemes. I'm willing to let you go as a separate state. I'm willing to take that star off the flag. I am.
Yeah, I'm not, because I feel sorry for the people in California who are sane, all right? And that includes the San Diego area, the Orange County area of L.A., and all of the central and northern part of the state.
And that's why
front-loaded in L.A. and San Francisco.
Right. That's why I would just like to point out there are roads that head east. I just want to point that out.
Yeah,
if you live in any of those areas, you can get into a car. I know that. I was born and raised in Seattle, and I love it. I got out before the insanity completely destroyed Seattle. And so there's roads, and there's plenty of room here in Texas. We'd love to have the Californians that know the right from wrong. We'd love to have you. If you would help us pick the ones out that are moving here because their company moved here and they really like that progressive utopia out in California, if you can help us find them so we can help them move back to California.
You got to tell me. You got to explain something to me, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Texas, I lived there for a couple of years. We both love Texas, the independent spirit, the self-reliance. What is going on in Dallas where they want to take the names of Washington, Jefferson, and Franklin off the schools?
Dallas. I mean, Bill, we're just 20 years behind every other state. This is the same disease that has hit every other state. Started in Austin. Keep Austin weird. You know what's weird in Austin? An NRA member. That's what's weird in Austin now. And the same thing is happening in cities like Houston and cities like Dallas. The progressives have taken over, and they're.
But this is how crazy it is. All right. So you just mentioned the city of Houston. That's named after Sam Houston, correct?
Yes.
Sam Houston was a slaveholder. Okay, so now what are we going to change the name of Houston to?
I know, but you also have to look. Sam Houston also refused to he had a change of heart and was instrumental in the Civil War on the good side. I mean, they got him out because he said, we're not going to fight for this. This is wrong.
The point is that you have to evaluate men in their totality.
Yes, I know.
Not in, nobody's perfect.
I know.
But this insanity that now we're looking at in America, all across, even in Montana, places like that, I mean, it's just dangerous.
Well,
it's so dangerous.
Here's the thing: I'm so sick of dealing with it. I'm sick of dealing with the past. When bad guys are getting away with things now, first of all, slavery is bigger than it's ever been in the history of the world, and then you also have people who are clear predators. You want to talk about, women are oppressed and blah blah blah. Well, how come we don't see Anthony Weiner in jail yet? How come he's not in jail yet? We now have testimony from him that he was talking to a 15-year-old. He knew she was 15, and he was talking about all the things that he wanted to do to her if she turned 18, and convinced her to get, undressed and do all kinds of things at 15 years old. Let's stop talking about the past. Let's go after the bad guys today. Can we do that?
No, because you have to make judgments about things. And if you're on the other side, if you're on the left and the far left, they're not going to cover it. I mean, they're not going to give you, it's covered in New York, but you're just not going to get it.
I will tell you,
if somebody on a conservative side does something, then it's huge headlines.
I was going to say they don't have a problem judging you. They don't have a problem judging me. So it's
based on nothing.
Yes,
by the way. Based on nothing.
More than nothing. Bill, let's just wrap this up. I hear you have a new book.
Yeah, and that plays right into what we were talking about. Where the only way this problem is going to be solved, Beck, is individual Americans going to their school boards, going to college students, going to their deans, and saying we have to stop this, and having the facts to win the debate. And if you read Killing England, you will know about George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin, and you will be able to win the debate. Beck.
Bill O'Reilly from BillO'Reilly.com. His new book available everywhere, Killing Lincoln. Grab it and share it with a friend, share it with your family.